back to Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shannon Register, and every week we bring you news and information you can use on your next real estate transaction. This weekend, we are live remote broadcasting from the 8th Annual Cy-Fair Home and Garden Show out at the Berry Center. There's free parking, and later today I'm going to be speaking about some of the communities around here and the amenities in those communities in the Cy-Fair area. We hope you'll come out and join us. There's so much to see and do at these home shows. It's just a great fun time for us to be here live remote broadcasting and really get to meet consumers who have housing needs. And we like to answer your questions right here on location. Today, we have realtors from Register Real Estate Advisors, who's a sponsor of our show, here in the booth with us answering consumer questions and also talking about free reports that they're giving away to consumers. If you want to know the value of your home, if you want to calculate the value of your home, stop by our booth. We're right here at the entrance, and we can help you do that. We have agents here to help you. John Simmons is my next guest on the show, and John is a realtor with Register Real Estate Advisors, and he is one of the people working with you when you come by and you want to calculate the value of your home. John can do that for you. He sends you this free report, and it's an in-depth report that gives you lots of great information. Welcome to the show, John.
Thanks for having me.
So this report that you're giving to consumers has a lot of information in it. Tell me a little bit about the report.
Well, it's a very comprehensive report. You could drill down into a specific property and the surrounding areas. You can, look up, if it's a older community, a younger community, what is the income, what's the voting patterns. Mm-hmm. It's a very, very comprehensive report, which is, it's one-stop shopping. It's a place where you could just get everything about a neighborhood and a subject.
I love the demographics, because some people, they move into a home, they live there 8 to 10 years, and they don't realize how much the neighborhood's changed since they moved in, especially if they moved in with young families. Correct. A lot of times those families are growing up. Now you've got a different demographic in the neighborhood. Some of the older communities, you watch them age. You can get a lot of demographic information, the vote, like you mentioned, the voter information, a lot of different, you can find out the income levels in the homes.
Quality of life.
Yeah, a lot of great stuff. One of the things that I'm talking about later here at the home show when I present is the difference between what people were looking for in communities 10 years ago versus what they're looking for now. For example, the lakes were a big thing, 10 years ago.
Sure.
Now it's how do you have recreation on that lake? Sure. Are they stocked ponds? Do they have motor craft? Do they have fountains? Lots of things have changed about communities. And so whether you're buying a resale home or new construction, you can get a lot of great information out of this report. I think it really changes the perspective for the seller.
Absolutely.
So in this report, it's a lengthy report, and I know that you can adjust it for the consumer to make it have a little bit less information or a little bit more information. How can this report benefit a seller? What can it do for them?
Well, this report allows you to add on things, manipulate your property to, for example, you can add a pool. You can add granite countertops. You can add updates to get credit for the value of your home if you're trying to sell it. So, the comps are very, very accurate in my opinion. We're giving a range, but I think that, being able to manipulate different aspects of your home will give you a real sense of what the value of your home would be or could possibly sell for.
So if I'm out here at the home show today and I go and get an estimate for a pool to put into my existing home, I can come to you, tell you my property address, give you the pool quote, and you can now tell me what I can resell it for after I put in the pool, what that value is going to be.
Absolutely.
That's a pretty cool tool.
Yes.
I like that.
There's a lot of graphs, a lot of charts. It's a well put together report. It's very easy to read, very simple, and I think most consumers would really, really like it.
And it doesn't even have to be a high-ticket item. I can just recarpet the floors, and you can tell me what that value, if any, it's going to add, or put in a new front door, right?
Absolutely.
So if consumers are not here at the home show today and they miss you here, how can they contact you to get a copy of this report? Because I know a lot of people listening out there at home are going to want this report. How can they get it?
Sure. You can contact me by calling me at 832-527-0282, or you can reach me on my email at john@rrea.com. You're also welcome to visit the www.rrea.com website. You can find me there as well. So,
well, John, I know that this report is very handy. It also has the flood zones, and that's something that when you buy a house, you really have to know whether you're in a flood zone or not, because if you're in a flood zone, you got to have different insurance than if you're outside the flood zone.
Yes, absolutely. You have these hot maps where you can pull up the flood zones and as such, but yes, it's a very, very cool interactive map.
How are buyers using this report? Let's say someone's coming today and they're thinking they want to buy a home. How can this report benefit a buyer?
Well, they can see what the neighborhood's really selling for. They can, compare, if they find a house that they like, is it really worth that much? What is the area selling for? Mm-hmm. What's the voting pattern? Will they be able to fit in with the community? If that's a big deal for some people, that is a big deal. Mm-hmm. Is it a place that has a lot of young children? I mean, this report will break it down. So I think for a buyer perspective, you can just really have a good idea of what the neighborhood's going to be about before you even move in.
So this report really is for buyers or sellers. It's for anybody who's a homeowner or thinking about
Absolutely.
being a homeowner. Even somebody who lives in an apartment now, if they're thinking about a community to live in, you can even broaden it and go by community. So if they're thinking, I want to live in Bridgeland, but I want to know more about Bridgeland,
right,
you can just send them a report that gives them an overview, more of an overview of that area, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, you can get a report to up to 100 pages, and then you can get, we can narrow it down to 20 pages. It just depends on what the consumer wants.
I think the best thing, personally, in my opinion, I think the best thing is for someone to just call you and talk to you about what it is they're looking for and how they're going to use the data, so that then you can really customize the report for them and what they want to use it for.
Yes.
Also, I know at tax time, you can use this to get the comps to protest your taxes as well.
Sure, homestead. I mean, and just to tack on, this is not just for Houston. This is nationwide. We would have access to 160 million properties, I believe, in North America with this report. So, yeah, to your point, we can narrow it down to a certain area. We can broaden it, and we can make it, nationwide for anybody that wants to get information or buy a home.
I think that's fantastic. We have so many people moving into the Houston area right now that as they move here, Houston's a huge area. They have to figure out what area of town they want to be in before they can even start looking at houses.
Yes.
And so I think this is a great report that can help them as well. So if you are looking to move to the Houston area, or if you need help selling your current home or purchasing another home, or maybe you're just thinking about renovations and want to make sure that what you're going to do is worth it when you resell.
Absolutely.
You can call John Simmons. He's a realtor over at Register Real Estate Advisors, known as RREA. And John, I know you've worked with a lot of clients and worked with a lot of builders too. You've been doing a lot of work over there, and we appreciate all that you do. Thanks for being here on location to help clients. If you need a home value report that John spoke about, you can look for him on the rrea.com website. You're listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. We are live remote broadcasting from the 8th annual Sci-Fair Home and Garden Show. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors here on Houston Real Estate Radio.